I like to make videos on Five Nights at Freddy's, but lately things have been getting stale. FNAF is not a series that necessarily breeds innovation, but sometimes, once in a blue moon, something interesting comes out. Playtime with Percy is a Five Nights at Freddy's fan game released on August 4th, 2023. It's the third game in Phasey Funbear's portfolio, the other two being Banana Splits themed. Does anyone even remember the Banana Splits? No, not the shitty slasher film. No. I mean the original Banana Splits. Now that's some good shit right there. Phasey Funbear has this unique, charming art style that makes Playtime with Percy stand out from the crowd. Drawn in 2D and then animated in Blender, it gives the game this sort of papercraft feel. Pop-up storybook-esque. If you like it or hate it, it's up to personal taste. For me, it makes everything silly and slightly whimsical. And much like Playtime with Percy being different from the crowd, this video is going to be different from my other two fan game videos. We will be going night by night, bit by bit, animatronic by animatronic. And hopefully by the end, I'll be able to answer the question, is Playtime with Percy worth your time? Who am I kidding? Of course it is. Monday. It's Monday, start of the week, start of the game. Before the night starts, the game gives you a short tutorial explaining how the characters work. On Monday, only Charlie Cat and Mother Moose are active. They both work relatively the same, appearing at either your left or right vent with a sound cue. The only difference is Charlie Cat makes you lower whatever device you're using, and I think look at him, but I might be wrong, it's never fully explained. Just don't use anything when he enters your office. Mother Moose is the same and honestly is not much of a threat, just keep using whatever device you're using while she's in the room. Instead of the nights being time-based, they are minigame based. By pressing Q, you pull up your pal Percy, a Tamagotchi-style toy. In order to pass the night, you must complete a certain number of games. The games featured are Catch, filling up Percy's water bowl, and Catching Bones. They are all pretty easy and flow well with the mechanics the game throws at you. At any time, you can press Q to lower the pal Percy, even when you are in the middle of a game. The challenge comes when your pal Percy starts to get irritated. If you don't use it for a long period of time, it will start to beep rapidly. I don't know what happens if you let it keep going, and I'm too scared to find out. Complete the minigames, watch out for the Vent Brothers, and complete your shift. But did you really think that would be the end? Welcome to Overtime. Each night you must do a new game mode after the main night. Each Overtime segment revolves around getting something specific done and ready to ship before the place gets demolished. On Monday, you have to auction off the animatronics, which basically means you have to reject multiple offers by putting in a number code until it matches the listed price. Sometimes you'll lose connection, which just means you have to select the right router. The challenge comes from Charlie Cat, who occasionally walks behind you. When you hear him, hide under the desk until he leaves. Halfway through, Overtime gets more challenging. In Monday's case, Charlie will take longer to leave. And that's it for Monday. All in all, a wonderful opening. I hate it when fan games don't explain mechanics and just throw shit at you until you figure out what to do. It doesn't lead to a fun experience. Giving you a short tutorial with visuals for what will happen helps out a lot. I'm gonna do a tier list for the animatronics in this video because I think that would be fun. Charlie Cat goes in C tier. I feel like his mechanic is neat, but it is very annoying to deal with. Mother Moose goes in B tier. It's very easy to deal with her, but I do like it when animatronics make you do something rather than nothing. Tuesday adds two new characters to the game, but one of them basically does nothing. One of the playful poodles makes you complete a task to send it away, but you'll be doing so many tasks, it doesn't really pose a threat. The other one, Farmer Felix, on the other hand, is the complete opposite. Felix makes you play Simon Says with him. He'll walk by the office, and whatever colors his eyes are is the same color you put in the machine in your office. Here's the thing. I'm colorblind, specifically due to rhinopia, or red-green color blindness. Some of the colors Farmer Felix gives off are incredibly hard to tell for me. I like the mechanic, I just wished either the colors were brighter or there was an accessibility toggle for Felix. Besides that, Tuesday is more or less the same as Monday, just with slightly more difficult AI. If you're not colorblind, Farmer Felix should be easy for you. Overtime on Tuesday is pretty simple. You have to test out an arcade game to make sure it's ready to be shipped out. It's your standard top-down space shooter, it's fun but nothing special. Much like Charlie Cat on Monday, Mother Moose is the threat on Tuesday. If you hear any noises coming from behind you, stop what you're doing, turn around, and flash your light at her until she leaves. Halfway through though, she takes 2 flashes instead of 1 to go away. But it doesn't really add much to the gameplay loop. It just takes longer, so what? Anyways, beat the high score and you're free to go. I'm gonna put this playful poodle in D tier. It doesn't really do anything important. Farmer Felix goes in C tier. It's a good mechanic, but I'm colorblind. Wednesday. Much like Tuesday, Wednesday adds 2 new threats who both act the exact same. One of the playful poodles will show up at the door. All you have to do is click on the door and she leaves. I adore the design of this little fucker. Why is it so cute? Why is it so cute? The other threat added is Percy himself. He'll slowly go towards the door, and once you hear him bang on it, lock the door so he can't get in, and he'll leave soon after. Much like before, the animatronics get faster, but not fast enough to make you freak out. At the end of the shift, the power goes out, so you know what that means. Wednesday's overtime is about you turning the power back on. Think of the minigame from Sister Location, but fun and not about RNG. Like Tuesday, if you hear anything behind you, turn around and shine your light on an animatronic we haven't seen before. Rowan Rat. Halfway through, he starts getting more impatient. Instead of disappearing immediately, if you shine your light on him, he'll move to another area. Do it again, and then he leaves. The power minigames consist of a maze, bullet hell, color puzzle, and various mix and matches of the 3. Fun minigame. Not too hard, not too easy. I'm gonna put the playful poodle in B tier. I love their design, and it's always a treat when I get to see them. Percy goes in A tier. I love the design, I love the mechanic, he's all around a really cool guy. Thursday. On Thursday, once again 2 new threats are added, a poodle and Rowan Rat. The poodle will occasionally appear on the cameras, signified by the camera UI in the office going all nutty. Look at him and he goes away. Don't look at him and your cameras will shut off, which is an instant death in most cases. Rowan Rat, on the other hand, has an entire new menu specifically for him. If any of the cameras on this menu go red, find him and flash him with the camera. If you don't, death. Like before, the animatronics are faster and the game gets more intense. This night was the hardest night for me. The difficulty spike from Wednesday to Thursday was massive. But that might have just been me because I didn't really understand how the third poodle worked. But as soon as I found out, it became much better. Once it ends, Farmer Felix takes a slight tumble and now you have to fix him. Thursday's overtime is interesting. You do a few puzzles to power Felix back on while flinging the poodles off. I don't really have much to say about Thursday's overtime because it's just not very. Like, it's still fun, but it's just a bunch of button clicking. Not bad, but definitely the worst out of the bunch. Rowan Rat goes in B and so does the last poodle. They both make you use the camera. I like it when fan games make the cameras useful. Friday. The final night of the game is more of the same. No new characters are added, the AI is more aggressive, same deal as always. But after the night, your boss makes you repair Percy Poodle. Use Sister Location minigame. After repairing Percy, his battery seems to fail. Not being able to find another battery around you, put your pal Percy in Percy Poodle. Well, that's the end of the game. Thank you for watching. I really like this fan game. Oh, god damn it, they pulled a Kid Icarus. Boss fight. Okay, so I might have forgotten to tell you a crucial part of the game. You know your pal Percy? It's actually fucked up and evil. Welcome to the best thing in the entire game. They programmed an entire boss fight with 3D models, new mechanics, the whole shebang. The fact they went from silly 2D sprites to fully fleshed 3D that looks like Paper Mario is astounding. It's something you don't see often. I hate boss fights in FNAF fan games because they never give you time to figure out what you were supposed to be doing. This boss fight, on the other hand, actually gives you time to learn what you're supposed to do. I like that. The boss fight is versus your best friend, Pal, who has taken over the animatronics. Much like the base game, you must complete minigames using your early model Pal to complete 5 charges. You get it? Early model Pal? EMP? Yeah, okay, whatever. But unlike the base game, you have a time limit. Completing charges increases the time limit, mind you, but you are still timed. Instead of the regular Pal Percy minigames, during the boss fight you have an early model Pal, meaning you have 3 new ones. Those being a matching game, a maze, and a fishing game. Every good game has a fishing minigame. If you don't play with it for a while, the EMP will turn into Tama Lanky, leading to a jump scare. For the first few charges, Pal will make you look for him on the cameras. On Pal's screen will be an item. Find said item on the cameras, click on it, and you have successfully avoided Pal. After the first charge, 2 new threats are added, both involving the carts in your office. If a poodle appears in front of one of the carts, run it over. If you hear banging on one side of the room, hold the cart forward until it stops. If you don't, Tama Broody will break down the wall and kill you. Do what you were already doing and you'll pass this section with flying colors. After the second charge, Pal will start attacking you differently. If you hear him approach, shut the door, otherwise he will break in and kill you. If you hear something that sounds like someone both gurgling and screaming at the same time, find Tama Opti on the cameras and shock it. After the third charge, the best thing I've ever seen in a fan game starts.
Don't you get it? I'm your best pal, and we'll be together forever.
Pal's voice acting is some of the coolest shit ever. It's like Flowey but better. I haven't talked about it yet, but the music in this boss fight is amazing too. And during this section, Pal fucking laughs to the beat. It's very, very cool. Once Pal becomes awesome, bugs start to appear. But not your normal bugs, no, Tamagotchis. Playing them off and you're all set. If your vision starts to get all pixelated, look for a poodle in the cameras and stare at him until he disappears. Once this section is over, Pal starts attacking you in multiple ways. Finding him, the door, and one new way, a ball cup memorization game. I don't know what it's called. The final poodle is also added, who makes you click their face on the 2 TVs in your office. This is the worst mechanic I have ever seen. It happened like once during my first playthrough. I don't know what they were thinking. Once the charges are, well, charged, you have a final confrontation with Pal. And once the music ends, you have successfully beaten Playtime with Percy. I'm gonna put Pal in S tier. His design is too cool not to put him there. The cart poodle goes in A tier, the bow poodle goes in D tier, and the camera poodle goes in B tier. The cart poodle has some of the coolest animation in a fan game I've seen, and his mechanic is pretty neat. The bow poodle's mechanic sucks ass, so it's going in D. The camera poodle goes in B tier because I like his mechanic, but at first I didn't know what I was supposed to be looking for, and sometimes my screen would just go back to normal without looking at him. Tama Lanky goes in D tier. He didn't really pose much of a threat. The other ones go in A, B, and C tier respectively. They all have unique mechanics, but some of them are harder and more fun than others. Custom Night. Playtime with Percy also has a custom night. And I don't do this often, hell, I didn't even do it for Oblitus Casa. But I unlocked all the custom night animatronics for no real reason other than my own amusement. All besides Truman because I can't beat the mode. I'm also on the first version of the game, so there's that, but honestly I've sunk so much time into this video, I'd rather not spend an eternity unlocking a bird, so you can call me whatever you want, but I need to get this video out to you guys. Every time you unlock a new animatronic, you have to do this little Jack-in-the-Box cutscene. Everything from the visuals to the tune is just, wow, I love this. Now that that's out of the way, why don't we go through them all? The first animatronic you will likely unlock is Sunny Sheep. Sunny Sheep sits at the end of your desk slumped over. Occasionally she comes to life and her face falls off her head like some Leatherface shit. All you have to do is find it and put it back on her head, otherwise she will kill you for leaving her indecent. Next up comes Helios, the sun on the stage. Helios acts the exact same way as Tama Opti, starting at the center of the establishment before moving to one of 4 corners in an attempt to repair his body. Shock him with the camera or you are toast. That's about it for the base game, but simply flip a switch and you were at the boss fight custom night. Viola hangs from the broken ceiling, gradually coming further down before getting ready to strike. In order to fend against her, simply lower whatever you are using until she goes back to where she was originally. The same mechanic as Charlie Cat. And finally, Truman is an improved version of the TV Poodle. He can appear on either the 2 TVs or your monitor. Click on his ad and he will be satisfied. Sunny Sheep goes in A tier. Cool ass mechanic, got nothing more to say. Helios goes in C tier, literally just Tama Opti but worse and gross and ugly and bad looking. Truman goes in A tier, makes the TV Poodle seem worse by comparison but has a really neat mechanic. See, I told you there was a reason she was in D tier. Viola goes in B tier, the exact same as Charlie Cat but she's in 3D so she gets a boost. After beating the game, you unlock both scrapped content and the gallery. Scrap content is self-explanatory, but I just wanted to point out the unused Rowan Rat mechanic. What the fuck is this? What was this supposed to be? Why was this ever considered? The gallery is full of silly little comics and drawings and fan-created art. All of this. This much passion. This much work for a free Five Nights at Freddy's fan game. I said it on stream, but it was hard to hear, so I'll say it again. Games like this are why I like Five Nights at Freddy's. FNAF gives people a way to express themselves in ways I wouldn't even have thought of. I don't understand why this wasn't in the fanverse, but that's not up to me to decide. This is a game worth money, and I wish they could make money off of it. This is the best fan game I have ever played, and I don't think anything will ever top it. FaZe Funbear and their team deserve all the praise in the world. Kudos to all involved who made a fantastic game. And to my viewers, consider this video my apology for not finishing my Krusty Krab video. That shit has been in the vault since April, but I find talking about FNAF to get boring after a while. This game reignited that ability for me. Main character goes in D tier, fuck this bitch. Alright, thank you for watching to the end of the video, I really appreciate it. If you want to see more content like this, check out my Patreon in the description. For $3, you get to see the video 2 days before it goes up. Have a good day.
Guys, what is your favorite Hawaii shake? Cherry blue? Jumbo sauce? Ben, nam, I forgot his name, the frog dude, and, yeah. Flosaline, Bambalina, Steam the Flan, Pillabode, and Awesome Honey. Why? This is a me, but I don't want to use it.